Hi guys, Dr. Garda with Backbone Wellness right here in Cincinnati. And today we're going to change gears a little bit because, well, today's my birthday. And, as I get older, the meaning of that, it changes. And I had a great conversation with my 9-year-old son, Milo, this week. You see, I read a book back in the 1990s, and I really think that the message is worth sharing today. So if this resonates with you, please go ahead and forward it to a friend or a loved one. Okay. So the way I'm going to start is, it was Christmas break back in December of 1993. And I was driving home from Davenport, Iowa to Canada from chiropractic school, and with a very good friend of mine who was also a student. And we're driving home in the middle of this big snowstorm, and it's hundreds of miles to go, right? So we've been driving for 10 hours at this point. And we stop at a little local diner outside of Fargo, North Dakota, to get off the road and to get something to eat and just get off the road for a bit. And I remember our waitress, who was a lovely person, working hard, making an honest living. Well, she wasn't moving too fast because she had to be at least 75 or 80 years old. So she was at least 10 to 15 years past her retirement age. And she had to drive through a snowstorm to get to work that day. And I don't know, I guess you just had to be there, right? But it just affected me, and I never forgot about her. Obviously, this is 25 years later, and I was left with the feeling that something in her life somewhere, it went wrong somehow. Somewhere the ball got dropped somewhere. So that's important because, anyway, after a few years later, my dad, he died of cancer. And I've talked about that in the past, but it's showing up for me today because, well, he was 49 years old when he passed. And I remember thinking at that time, I'm going to be 49 someday. And of course, every year, 49 was getting closer and closer, and then here we are today, 49. So over the years, what we found is that working with patients, you become really conscious that, hey, we're all mortal. We're this imperfect clay. And I think, Jim Morrison said it best, no one here gets out alive, right? Does anyone remember that? So when my son Milo was born, my first goal was I took out a life insurance policy so that no matter what happens, if I'm gone, my income is replaced. And now he and his brother, Noxie, the madman, right? So they're handled now, no matter what. So the book that I was talking about that I read back when I was young and handsome, right? There was a quote that resonated with me that I want to share with you here. It said, quote, but because we live in our own day and not in the days which are to come, we must take advantage of the means and the ways of accomplishing our purposes. Therefore, I do recommend to all men that they, by wise and well thought out methods, do provide against a lean purse in their mature years. Catch this. So for a lean purse to a man no longer to earn, or to a family without its head, is a sore tragedy. Provide in advance for the needs of thy growing age and the protection of thy family. Unquote. So I've been sitting with that this week, and I wanted to share that with you on my birthday, right? So if any of you would like a link to that book that I've been talking about, go ahead and, if you message me or get a hold of me, I will send you that link and you'll get the whole book. Okay. Thanks, guys.